Hey guys! So I know it's been a little bit of a while. It's been a while. Since I filmed a video. Hasn't been a long time since I uploaded, maybe like 2 weeks I think. But I haven't actually sat down to film a video in about like a month, and that's because I started college. I started going to school, so I'm going to my community college and things have just been really crazy with that, so I just haven't really had time to film. But I have been reading a little bit, so today I'm going to be showing you guys the books that I bought throughout the month of January and February. I got a decent amount of books in January, but I only got 3 books or 2 books maybe, in February. So let's just jump right into it. So the first stack of books is from the library, and it includes ARCs and just like discounted books that I had bought. So let's jump into it. So the first book that I got is The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. I've read this book before and I love this book. It's one of my favorites, but I just didn't own a copy of it and it was only a quarter, I think. So yeah, I'm excited that I finally have a copy of this. The next book I have is an ARC, and it's Soldier Boy by Keely Hutton with an afterword by Ricky Richard Anywar. This is the story of Ricky Richard Anywar. So he was abducted in 1989 when he was 14 years old by the rebel army in Uganda. He was enslaved for 2 years, but he never stopped dreaming of his freedom. So this comes out in June of this year, and I just found it at the library. My library has like an ARC like cart, and some of them are like older ARCs that have already come out, but this is one of the only ones I found that hasn't come out yet, and I'm really excited to read it. The next book I have is also like a true history type of thing, and it's called Survivors Club by Michael and Debbie Bornstein, and this is a true story of a very young prisoner of Auschwitz. So I believe it's about this little boy here, and he was in Auschwitz, so this is his story in this book, and this comes out in March of 2017. The next book I got is an ARC, but this book is already out, and that is A Shadow Bright and Burning by Jessica Cluess. I've heard a lot of rave reviews about this book, specifically from Jessie the Reader, and I was really excited to read it, and plus like it was free, so why the heck not. Also on this cart they had like finished copies of stuff, so I got Off the Page by Jodi Picoult and Samantha Van Leer. So many people have told me to read this book because they know I'm gonna love it, and I'm really excited to pick it up, and like I said, it was free, so why the heck not. The next book I bought, it was only I think 50 cents, and that is Little Bee by Chris Cleave. I have no idea what this book is about, but the back of this really like captured is what hooked me and made me want to buy it. So it says, "We don't want to tell you what happens in this book. It is truly a special story, and we don't want to spoil it. Nevertheless, you need to know enough to buy it, so we'll just say this. This is a story of 2 women. Their lives collide one fateful day, and one of them has to make a terrible choice. The kind of choice we hope you never have to face. 2 years later, they meet again, and the story starts there. Once you've read this, you'll want to tell your friends about it. When you do, please don't tell them what happens. The magic isn't how the story unfolds." So I thought that was really interesting because it's finally like a blur or a summary on the back of a book that doesn't spoil everything that's in the book, and I just thought it was really interesting. I don't even know if this is like an adult book or like a young adult book. I have no idea, but I just thought that was so interesting. So, and then the last book that I got from the library is 13 Reasons Why by Jay Asher. I've actually never read this book, but I've been recommended this book since I was literally in like the 6th grade. This is a story about a girl, and I think she commits suicide, and she leaves letters, or no, they're tapes, to the person who was like one of the reasons I think why she killed herself. Yeah, so it's like her telling the people who are responsible for their death that they are responsible for her killing herself. So I thought that was really interesting, and I think they're making like a Netflix series or a movie or something about this, so I'm excited to read this and then watch that. The next 2 books I got from my book of the month box. So this was the January book of the month box, and I got The Grown Up by Gillian Flynn. This was in, like, they threw this in with all of the book of the month boxes, so just a little like short story. Then my pick was Lillian Boxfish Takes a Walk by Kathleen Rooney, And this is about a woman who just, I think she like goes for a walk like she used to go for walks late at night. She goes for a walk one day, and it's about like what she's thinking, what goes through her mind while she's on her walk, and like I'm pretty sure she like reminisces about old memories and stuff, and I just thought that sounded really interesting, and I really love this cover, so I'm excited to read this. I also made a book outlet order in January. The first thing I got is the box set of the Daughter in Smoke and Bone trilogy. I've never read this, but I've heard a lot of good things about it, and it was only a few dollars. And these books, I don't love these covers as much as I like the UK ones, but like I said, it was only a few dollars, and it's really not damaged, just the box is damaged a little bit, but like the books themselves are in perfect condition. So, and the next book I got, I'm literally so excited for, because it is Every Heart a Doorway by Shannon McGuire, and this is one of my favorite books of all time. And I just didn't have a copy of it because I think this retails for oh, there's a bookmark in here. And a coupon, whoa! $5 off. Cool. Anyway, this retails for $18, and it's only like 170 pages. That's like $1 every 10 pages. I don't know. I just feel like that's really expensive for like such a short book. But like it's one of my favorite books, so when I saw it on Book Outlet, I was like, I need it. And so I got it. This is the story of the kids who go off to far off places like Narnia or Wonderland, things of that nature, and what happens to them when they come back from those worlds and how they cope with them. So they go to Eleanor West's home for wayward children, and it's sort of like a group therapy home type of thing, and you learn about so many different characters. It's a pretty diverse novel too. There's also there's like the main character is asexual. I believe there's also a transgender or gender fluid character. So that's pretty cool, and like I said, it's such a short book, and there's also a sequel coming out at the end of April? I don't know, but I'm just really excited. So if you haven't read this book, you definitely should, because it's one of my favorites. The next book I got is The Goldfinch by Donna Tartt, and I don't know anything about this book, but everybody raves about it, and I have Donna Tartt's other book, The Secret History, and I read like the first chapter and I was really enjoying what I read, so I decided to just pick this one up because it was only like $4, I think, and this normally retails for like $20, so. And then the last book that I got from Book Outlet is The Luminaries by Eleanor Catton. Again, I don't know anything about this book, but I've heard some really amazing things about it, and I just really wanted to own a copy of it, so I picked it up. The next pile of books is a bunch of books that I got from Barnes & Noble. So the first one I got is Hidden Figures by Margot Lee Shetterly, and this is the book that is based off, or the movie that's based off of the book, you know. You knew what I meant. So the movie that just came out is based off of this book, and I really want to see the movie, but I haven't seen it yet because I want to read the book first. So it was on sale. I think it was on like 40 or 30% off, and then because I was a member at Barnes & Noble, I got like an extra discount, so I think I only got it for like $12, and it retails for $28. So I am excited to pick this one up, and I've heard some really great things about it, and obviously the movie is super successful. The next two books I got, I had to get for school. My history teacher told me to get these books, and that is Uncle Tom's Cabin by Harriet Beecher Stowe, and I believe we're going to be discussing this in class. And then he also told us to Give Us the Ballot by Ari Berman, and this is about the modern struggle for voting rights in America. So I thought that sounded really interesting, and even if we don't talk about these things, because he just kind of like briefly mentioned them on the first day of class, so even if we don't talk about them, like I'm excited to read them because I think they'll be relevant, especially with what's going on today. The next book I got is the second book in the Kingdom Keepers series. This is about a group of kids who fight off the Disney villains in the parks. After the parks close, the villains try to take over, and this is about a bunch of kids that go like in their dreams kind of to fight them off. So I read the first book last year and I really loved it, and I read through it super quickly because it's a middle grade book, but I love this series. I love Disney, so it was just perfect. I haven't read this one yet actually, but I need to. The next book I got was an obvious one, and that is A Gathering of Shadows by Victoria Schwab, or V.E. Schwab. This is the paperback version that just came out, and I actually own A Darker Shade of Magic in the paperback version, And even though I did have the hardcover of A Gathering of Shadows, I still wanted to get the paperback because I want to get all the paperbacks, and I'm planning on buying A Conjuring of Light in hardback, but I just figured I would get this too because then it'll all look nice when the paperback of Conjuring of Light comes out next year. The next book I got has taken a beating over the past few weeks because I'm currently reading it and I take it with me everywhere I go, and that is Norwegian Wood by Haruki Murakami. This is my first Murakami, and this is the one that a lot of people have recommended that you start with. I am on page 152 and I am loving every second of it. I'm taking it very slowly because I want to really absorb the writing and the story, since I know Murakami can be a little bit complex. I think this book is amazing and I'm so excited to read all of his other books throughout the course of my life. And yeah, I hope to finish this one soon. I've been reading it for about a month and a half now, which is really slow for me, but I'm really loving this. The next book I got is The First 15 Lives of Harry August by Claire North. And the reason I picked this up is because it was on discount. It was only $6, and I have heard Reagan from Peruse Project talk about this and rave about it and how much she loved it. And I also heard that it was magical realism, which is a genre that I'm starting to immerse myself with. So I'm excited to read this. Plus the cover is like one of those like really buttery soft ones, and it was a hardcover for $6 instead of $25. So I was not complaining, but I believe this is about a man that no matter how much he tries to change his life, when he dies, he always returns back to life. And he always returns as a child, or yeah, where he began, a child with all the knowledge of life that he has already lived a dozen times before, and nothing ever changes until one day it does change. Yeah, so I think that sounds really interesting. I don't know how soon I'm gonna read this, but it was only $6 like I said, so I picked it up. And then the last book that I got from Barnes & Noble in January, I'm really excited about, and that is the illustrated biography of Alexander Hamilton by Richard Silla. And this book is so beautiful, and it was in like the 50% off section. So and like what's really cool is the dust jacket's like a poster, but I don't know how I'm gonna show you this, but it's basically like, it's just like the illustrated biography of Alexander Hamilton. And you know, I'm obsessed with the musical Hamilton, so I figured this was the perfect thing to buy because it was literally $12 instead of $35. It's basically more than half off. Then for the 3 books that I bought this month, the first one is After by Anna Todd, and I normally don't read books like this, like at all. I'm not about the erotic fiction. I think it's weird, but like I love Colleen Hoover books, but I feel like those are in like a different genre than this. But this was on discount at Barnes & Noble. It was only $5, I think. And my friend kept telling me to just read it and that I would love it, and it's like addicting. It's like a guilty pleasure, obviously. So I picked it up. I'm planning on reading it pretty soon, but if I don't, it's fine. And then the next book that I got was also on discount. You can see it was $4.98, and that's Virgin by Radhika Sangani. I don't know if I said that right, but yeah, I don't know what this is about either, but it's like an erotic fiction type of thing. The back says, okay, I admit it, I didn't do it yet. This is normal, right? I mean, because, well, I mean, just because everyone I know has talked like they've already done it doesn't mean that they're telling the truth, right? It's not like I'm asking for that much. I don't need the perfect guy. I don't need candlelight or roses. Honestly, I don't even need a real bed. The guys I know complain that girls are always looking for Mr. Right. Do I have to wear a sign that says I'm only looking for Mr. Right now? So does anyone out there want to have sex? Anyone? Hello, just for fun. I'm not going to die a virgin. One way or another, I'm going to make this happen. Hey, what have I got to lose besides the obvious? So I thought that sounded interesting, and it's pretty short. I think it's only like a little bit under 300 pages, so I'm excited to read this. I have no idea when, but I just thought it was cool. And then the last book that I'm going to talk about, my therapist told me to get, and that is On Grief and Grieving, Finding the Meaning of Grief Through the 5 Stages of Loss by Elizabeth Kubler-Ross and David Kessler. I don't know, my therapist told me to get this book and read it, so I got it. I haven't started reading it yet, but I'm excited to pick it up and learn things about myself, because therapy is good for you. So those are all of the things that I have bought in the past 2 months. I'm very proud of myself in February because I only bought 3 books. So yeah, it has been great being back. I feel so happy. So thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and leave me a comment down below telling me some of your favorite erotic fiction. This is so weird to say. I don't normally read books like that. Obviously, you've never seen me talk about them, but yeah, so leave me a comment down below telling me that, or just tell me one of your favorite books, or if I hauled one of your favorite books, let me know and convince me why I should read it soon. And that's it for today. I will see you guys next time. Goodbye!